Hello. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe.
Found out all the truth of cheating ex-wife Jess went through my first year. Officially divorced, and after gaining full custody of our 5 children, I finally learned the complete truth during our custody fight. A little background, as it is relevant. I, 36M, meet ex-wife, 35F. Back in 2007, in our high school history class, or the first week of class. She hit me in the face with a hand lotion tube when trying to pass it to the girl next to me from across the room. I hated her during high school because she never apologized. Then in college, 2009, we meet again in an English class, ESL, with only 3 students. During the class, she invited me to sit next to her to help her with homework. We started dating in 2010 after I made sure she ended her relationship with the car. The mechanic that she suspected was sleeping with her mother before I even considered dating her. She was my first girl, and it was very emotional for me as I was kind of saving myself. But weeks later, we found out she passed me an STD chlamydia. I was inexperienced and asymptomatic. We found out after she started complaining, which I believed was normal for a new couple of teenagers that was being together, up to 3 times a day. In 2011, I started a career as an IT, a local clinic, and became very close friend with the vice president HR and the hiring manager. This allowed me to help her get a job in the clinic and help her escalate fast from receptionist to assistant clinic manager. During this time, I gifted her a cell phone under my cell plan that during one of our dates, she cracked the screen. I offered to repair it without even worrying, and while I was repairing the phone, I found out that she was texting, flirting with a guy, as she got notifications. When confronted, she excused herself, saying that she believed it was me trying to test her loyalty, impersonating a different phone number. I didn't believe her and started distancing myself. When she noticed my distance, she asked for 1-month break that I immediately agreed. But 1 week after the break, she showed up to my room, crying and imploring to get back, and to my surprise, I agreed and continued to a normal relationship. This is important later. In 2013, she told me that she was pregnant, and after getting the news, something in me got triggered and decided to do things right, to be a good partner, to be a good father, and to be a good human. I traded my brand new R1 and got a new Maxima so we could go to her checkups comfortably. I got a brand new house 3 months before our first princess was born in May 2014, furnished it to her liking. She asked me to be a stay-at-home mom, and life was amazing for me. Though, when we shared the news with her mother, she told my ex-wife that she just had ruined my life. But her father and my parents took the news in a very positive way. Even with the bad reception of the great news, I felt on top of the world with my newborn baby and my Florescita little flower. Then we got married in 2015 as I wanted to do things right. Not in the right order, but try to do things right. Late 2015, we started planning for another kid. As we were thinking, it would be great for our newborn to have somebody to play with. And late in the year, we found out that she was pregnant again. I was in heaven as I just opened at the time a consulting business, and now we were expecting another baby. On her first checkup, she found out that we were expecting twins. But when she went to share the news to my work office, she was uncontrollable and crying. My co-workers later told me that maybe it was because she was nervous, and they asked me to comfort her the most possible. The twin girls were born in 2016, and their health was not very good. So after going through this challenge by her side, I became Christian and felt more connected to my ex-wife than ever as we were able to successfully overcome this hardship by relying on each other. I learned to love her to a deeper level, with her flaws and everything. I learned to love her as a human, not just as my wife. Every day on my way to work, I would feel the sunshine in my face and be absolutely grateful to God for the life He had given me, for the partner that was by my side, and of course, for my beautiful girls that, by a miracle, became healthy. Very fast life was good until 2018, when ex-wife started becoming more irritable for nothing. so I decided to invest myself even more. I tried to be more considerate of her emotions, and for being a mother of 3 young and very active girls, started hiring a cleaning lady to help her in the house, as I was already driving home sometimes during lunch to make her breakfast, drop some laundry in the washer, and to play with my babies in the living room, and the weekends I would do all cleaning. Late 2019, I suggested to have some psychological therapy, as I knew that she came from a dysfunctional family and understood that she could have been dealing with postpartum trauma, resentment, and childhood trauma. This is what saved me for later. This gave me the truth. I'm talking in the title. Then in 2020, the pandemic hit us, and she started experiencing more problems. We went 9 months without intimacy, and I just gave her space, as I saw she was not taking the lockdown well, at least. Everything else was good, as I was considered first responder, so I continued working in my side. As business grew, more supplementing my income, very good. After 9 months of nothing while sleeping next to her, I was craving her skin, her aroma, her taste, and I believe she felt guilty as I only voiced my needs once during the 9 months. So the night the Mandalorian season finale aired, we finally were back together. I remember because she cuddled with me while I was watching it in the living room, and one thing led to another. Ironically, she got pregnant again by that single time together, as there was no intimacy later. This pregnancy was also tough because after the 4 months, she had to have absolute rest, but my mother and sisters were there to take care of her while I was at work. Another set of twins, but now I got my boy finally, and my lovely little girl. After the delivery, she came back to normal pretty fast, and now she was taking medication prescribed by her psychiatrist. But now it was a very different normal. She started having more pronounced mood swings, and now would start yelling at all the children, even the newborns. On April 2022, I come home and I find her crying on the bed. When I ask her the reason, she confessed the most horrific thing that could ever come out of her mouth. She told me that for some time she has been thinking and seeing herself ending the lives of our kids with a butcher knife, then bathing in their blood, and to finally end herself. My first reaction was to tell her that she was not going to end nobody's life, that I was there to help her. But we needed help together. I contacted our pastor, and he spoke to her and was constantly visiting our house or sending church sisters to aid in the house and help her pray to deal with those ideations. But she started becoming a different person as time went. She started doing more exercise, dressing more, getting fake nails, going out with her sister and girl friends. May 19th, 2023, she told me that she was going to get her nails done with her sister-in-law's house at 9 p.m. I didn't think much of the request, so I gave her the keys of the sports car. But it worried me because she never drives at night. 30 minutes after she left, I called her to check and sent me 2 directly to voicemail. Called 3 more times and the same thing. I started getting worried, thinking that she had an accident, so I checked the car's GPS location and status. It was parked in the Civic Center Park. I texted her asking why is the car at the park at that time at night, when had more than 20K of network tools in the trunk, and when she started typing, I called her. She picked up, and I could hear that she was in a muscle car by the loud exhaust like a Mustang or a Charger. She just told me that she was on her way to the sister-in-law house, but was just hanging out with her friend, Jessica. The next day, she told me that she was just smoking weed while driving around the city, but it raised all my alarms. I just told her that if she was cheating, I would let her go without a fight. Just let me know, as I don't want another STD. My life. June 2nd, 2023, out of thin air, she approaches me to tell me that she was applying for a job and that she wanted a divorce or a break. I didn't took it well, and was the first time in my life that I cried. I could not process her request, but all the red flags hit me like a truck. Everything made sense now, and I was having a hard time processing her request. At the end, and after about 2 to 3 hours of me crying in our bedroom, I told her that I could only give her 1 month break, but no more. I only lasted 1 day out of home as I could not endure not giving my kids a good morning kiss, being welcomed from work by them, and tucking them in bed every night. But from that day, I started overcompensating for everything. I got her a week-long cruise to try to re-spark our marriage, shopping, sprees for her clothing, makeup, and shoes, tickets for a concert in San Diego for her, her sister and her sister-in-law, including a nice hotel stay. During this week, I felt that I was extinguishing myself as I tried to win her back. Then, on June 9th, 2023, before the night of her concert, I asked her if she had all the cards in cell phone Apple Pay in case she needed them. She handed me her phone and I updated everything. Something made no sense because she didn't have Messenger installed, but a couple hours earlier, she sent me a grocery list. I decided to install it, and boom, I found her talking to about 5 guys. She was sitting next to me the whole time, so I started checking everything I could, and I found her talking shit about me, how she desired some guys. But the highlight was when I found out that she had been sending pictures of our 4 girls, 9, 7, 7, 1.5 yo, and little man opening parenthesis 1.5 yo with GPS coordinates of our house to a guy in Pakistan. She was exposing our children to a possible predator across the world. I just took my phone and started taking pictures of her phone, but when she saw me, she snatched her phone and went running to our bedroom, locking herself there. She deleted everything, but I had a few pictures. Everything switched for me. I was no longer looking for her approval. I was angry. I felt sorry for her. Still had a little hope that somehow she was manipulated and it was just a mistake. This mindset only lasted from June 9th until Father's Day, June 19th, 2023, when after dinner she told me out of her own mouth that there was another man, that he has always been there since we started dating, that she was never happy by my side, that she maintained communication with him, especially after every pregnancy, that she was ready to go with him because he just finished his college. Something in me broke. I remember actually feeling physical pain in my chest. From one second to another, all my good feelings for her were dead. I just wanted nothing to do with her. I didn't want to be related to her in any way or form. She stopped being Mama Bear. She stopped being my Floresita. She was just another girl that deserved nothing more from me. That night, I started sleeping in my little boy's bedroom. No more asking her. No more waiting for her. Okay? Especially no more intimacy with her. I came to this conclusion after this kind of cold resolve filled my chest. I will protect my kids from at all cost, and I will not make any mistake. I will not give her ammo against me, was my motto. She filed for divorce August 1st, and I got served August 3rd. After she filed, she became more open. She would leave on Friday afternoon and come back on Sunday afternoon. She would demand money to put gas on her minivan to get her nails done, money for her belly dance classes, and money to keep paying the cleaning lady. I decided to keep the status quo, but no longer fund her lifestyle, so I told her to get a job. I became methodical, calculating, and cautious. I didn't leave the house, although she would demand that I would leave almost every day. Finally got my divorce decree on May 2024 after 4 hearings where we both self-represented and her dragging everything in attempts to keep the house, Cape, the sports car, and the minivan, and leave in the streets milking me of money while only allowing me to see my kids every other weekend. On March 28th, after our last hearing, she decided to go to a week-long vacation to Mexico with her lover. I used this week to take everything mine and settle with my kids and my parents' home. I got 50/50 custody, 1 week her and 1 week me, $132 child support, and $900 alimony for 32 months. I sold the sports car and my 2-seater daily driver to get a new Tahoe and transport my kids properly because she told the judge that she wanted the minivan to transport the kids and the sports car for the weekends when she didn't have the kids. I also got court-ordered DNA testing for all my kids, given that she kept in touch with her lover throughout the whole relationship. They are all mine, thank God. The arrangement of 50/50ths, week on, week off, went good, till August 4th, when by text message, she told me that she would not hand out the kids to me anymore. She changed them from school and didn't share where they were located. I could not see my kids for more than 2 months, and when I texted my older girls, they would tell me that they missed me and sometimes would tell me they were scared of me. It was the ex impersonating my kids. Every week, I would file a police report for failure to follow court orders. I would not react to her taunts until October 4th that I secured a family attorney. But not just any attorney, but the best and most ruthless in the whole county that got me emergency custody of my kids. On October 8th, the judge granted us the emergency order, and that afternoon, after a 3 hours standoff with 4 police officers and the server at her apartment, I finally got to see my kids again at the first hearing of the emergency orders. She showed up to court with one of her friends for moral support, but no legal representation. I was backed up by the mountain of evidence of her being in contempt and by my family attorney. She got ripped to shreds by the judge and my attorney. At the end, my attorney requested her psychological, medical, and financial records to understand her motives for hiding the kids, and the judge granted everything. It is my strong belief that the friend that was with her during the hearing is the girl that introduced my ex to ayahuasca and toad poison. Along with my ex's AP, getting her into weed, THC, and cocaine just recently got her psychological records. And this is how I discovered everything about the ex-wife. How she found her lover having sexual relations with her best friend in her apartment, and this triggered a panic attack that led to withholding the kids. Why her lover left her after finding she didn't keep the house, cars, or big money in the form of CS or alimony as they were planning, but not before spending all of her money from the marital house. How she wanted to make me mad, to react bad and get me in jail or a restriction order. How her lover and girlfriend got her hooked on drugs, and now she is exploring drugs like ayahuasca, toads, poison, bufas, cocaine, weed, THC gummies, and vapes. How, to this day, in July 2025, she already spent 95% of the marital house proceeds, close to $70,000 since September 2024. How she was manipulating our kids to be afraid of me. I found out that she was thinking about ending our children since 2019 because she saw our kids as an obstacle to be with her affair partner. This no longer makes me angry, but makes me feel sorry and pity for her. She gambled everything for a person that dropped her like a sack or rocks at the first chance to. This day, I'm still waiting for trial, and I'm pretty sure that I will keep 100% custody of the kids, due to my attorney requesting a hair follicle drug test and the landslide of evidence. But I know my kids need their mother in their lives. Kid, I recently got a plot of land for each one of my kids, and pretty soon, I will close on a new house. But learning that my whole marriage was a lie, that while I was learning to love somebody's soul and accept their faults, the other person was trash talking about me. That the most beautiful moments in my life so far were tainted by a lie, making me doubt about my own children's blood relation has been very challenging, to the point that I don't want to get in a relationship to any other woman again.